Hey everybody. So I'm just making this video to do a quick summary of what I'm looking for this week. So this week has the potential to be a big week, and with that in mind, we have to also know that it could just be a week like any other. It could be bullish, it could be bearish, it could be a sideways week. We really don't know. Anything can happen, and that's always the case in this market, especially this market currently that we're in. So since the so-called bottom, or the recent bottom that we got to in March, late March, we have we've been in a trend channel in on the QQQ, and we've been bouncing off the top, bouncing off the bottom, and we've been staying in between this range. But just on Friday, we got to the bottom of this range, and in the futures market, we're breaking under it, which the futures market isn't very important, really, in this market. It can easily, come back up, and if this comes back up, and it, let's say, breaks over the 213 level, and breaks over like 215. At 215, I'll be looking for calls, to be honest. I'll be looking for the 220 calls or something like that, because if we break through this huge new resistance now, and we break back into this trend channel, that's very bullish. Especially if we get above 215, which is another resistance, so if we can have enough buying pressure to push us up and catapult us up, that'd be the kind of pressure we need to really move higher. When we break under major levels like this, I've found that it can actually be uh, it looks bearish right now, but like when you break on under such an important level, it can actually end up being bullish if you break back into it, and you can't get married to one side of the market. So I'm going to be watching for this 212.38 level. If we stay under it, that's bearish. It could be, you know, could be showing us that it's going to be a down week. If we close under like 212 or even like 211.50 on Monday, I would say that there's a pretty good chance that we're going to have a down week. But Mondays can be tricky, you know. Mondays can be very tricky. So that's what I'm watching for in this for this week. I'm also watching to see if maybe we just stay stuck into this box right here between 205.03 and 216.78. I'm watching to see maybe if we stay in this box, which is totally possible as well. A break out of this box is a 100% downtrend channel. We broke out of this channel right here. We'll have broken out of this box with the support and resistance, and we'll be breaking out under that support, and just overall it'll just be pretty much a breakdown in the market. So another thing I'm watching the SPY, obviously, and the S&P 500 is actually broken out of its trend channel, which I find interesting that it did it first. So that is actually almost that could actually almost be enough to classify the entire market as going bearish, and this leading the way before the Nasdaq. So this could actually be showing us early signs that the Nasdaq is about to turn over, which I'm thinking that Amazon is going to lead the way for this collapse. Amazon is 10% of the Nasdaq, and it has been, raging higher and taking the Nasdaq with it. So with the S&P 500, I'm going to be watching to see if we break this 274 level. That's the real important level to be watching for this week, 274. Because if we can break under that, we're breaking out of this box, this trading range, and we already broke out of the trend. And we're breaking this major resistance. So this major support. So we're just really starting an intense downtrend here. If we do that, So we went up, And yeah, we're still going up here, going up here. That's what it looks like. But you could also look at it as we're in this box and it tries to break out and it fails. So we're still in a way consolidating. So we could always stay in this range, but it's kind of looking like the market's gone bearish, and I'll be watching to see if we, hold under this 283 level. I'd like to see us hold under the 283 level. That would be bearish. A break above Friday's high, so around 286. That would be that'd be pretty bullish if we could regain all of that. But I mean, we're still out of this trend channel, so we wouldn't be out of the woods yet, so to speak. So that's what I'm watching for on the SPY and the QQQ, which lead the market, really. They are the market. And so next I'm going to go over Amazon quick. Amazon was in a trend channel. Not trend channel, I call it just like a box. So right here, and if you want to look more into the box method, you can look up Nicholas Darvis box method. He's the star in How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market. He's a great trader. And one of his strategies was the box method. Basically, long story short, he said that you can, that when a stock is trading in a range from, one support to one resistance, when it breaks out and it stays out of that range, that it creates a new box with different parameters, and it stays in that box, and then, it breaks out and so on. So right now, Amazon broke out of its box with the bottom of around 23.10, and it broke out of that box completely, and now it's heading down, so it's going to create a new box, but we don't really know where yet. We don't know where it's going to settle, and we don't know where it's going to find its home, so to speak. But see, the thing that's real interesting about Amazon here is that this 2250 level doesn't have there's no support underneath it besides the 2185, because if you go back on this chart, 2185 is the old all-time high, and 2185 up to 2250, that was covered in a single day. So there's no support from 2250 to 2185, so that's a huge move. That's a $65 per share move that I would just love to be a part of, because that can happen in a single day, which, with options, if you could capture even 70 or 75 of those dollars, you're talking 500, 1,000, 1,500%, depending on which day of the week it is, because that'll determine how many days till expiration there are. So that's huge. And Amazon just had a huge move up. It's over 2 standard deviations from the 200-day moving average right now, so it really is overvalued. The earnings did not hit like they should have. There's just a lot of things setting up for Amazon. In fact, I think I'm just going to make a whole nother video that goes over just Amazon and Tesla, just so that people can just watch those if they'd like, so I don't go too much into detail. So next I'm going to go over Tesla real quick, but I'm going to tell you what I'm watching for on this is I'm watching for Amazon to stay under 2,300, ideally. If it can hold under 2,300, 2,310, it's a great place to short it, with like $10 to $20 risk, and you can make 100 a share or so. I mean, 2,250 is an easy target. I think 2,185 is something that could happen this week. If we can really hold under 2,300 on Monday, and break this 2,287 by Tuesday or so, and if the Nasdaq continues down, I mean, even if it doesn't, Amazon can very easily go down to this 2185 level. Now, of course, I can be wrong, and we can retake 2310 and head back up, but it just really doesn't seem like it's in the cards, because the earnings were nowhere near where they could have been. So next we have Tesla. Tesla is in this box range kind of. Well, it has a lot of support and resistance in the range between 7 and 750. But once you break the 700, then the 690 level, you don't have any support till 650, and then after 650, it's 600. So there's a lot of money to be made on Tesla on the way down, because I mean there's not much support from the 690 to 600. I mean the 650 is kind of just a support level that is like the top of this day, the high, and pretty close to the high of this day, and plus it's just like a psychological level, you know. Like 650 is just like it's a solid number. It's in between 600 and 700, and the market just likes even numbers like that: 600, 650, 700. So yeah, so there's a lot of pressure down on the downside here, and 750 is a major resistance, so that could be a good place to short if we go up to there. I mean, if we retake 700 and go above, let's say, if we go above 760, that's where I'd be thinking it could be. We could easily be going to 8. Over 8 is, the sky's the limit, and under 7, we're going back to 6. So there's a lot of movement going on here. Boeing, it's been a stock I've been really watching. It looks like people are accumulating it for the long term. But I mean, it's sold off today, so I don't know. I'd like to see a break above 145, which would bring it to about 154. A break above 160, it's it's going to go to 180. This stock has a lot of upwards potential. It used to be $400 a share. Apple is still in an uptrend channel. It had a huge sell-off on Friday, but the whole market was pretty bearish, so I'm not sure if that really says much. I mean, it was stronger than the rest of the market for the most part, so that's kind of bullish, and it's still in its trend channel. For Apple to be bearish, I'd have to see us break 280. Over 290, it's bullish. And after if it breaks over 290, breaks 291ish, and it holds, it can very easily go to 300 if the market conditions are right. Netflix has been a big mover. Its old all-time high was like 390s, and it shot up to 450, and now it's kind of making its way back down, which I find is weird, but just because like they're making so much money and doing so well, but I guess it wasn't as great as people thought. Not quite sure how the market works sometimes, but doesn't really matter. So now we got Netflix in this downtrend channel, and if we break this 404 level, we can easily go to this 408 level. I mean, we can easily go down to 400. What I'm going to be really watching for is the breaking of the 398 level, and because we can go down to 385. That's a big move. I'll be watching for that. Another big move I'm watching this week is I'm watching for Beyond to break under 90. Look at this chart. A break under 90. Right here when it broke 90, it went all the way down to 80, and then here it bounced off and went down to 83. So it's huge moves. 90 just seems to be a very significant level for this stock. When it breaks over 90, back here it broke 90 here, it flew. So it's just like it's a very important level for this stock, it seems like. And it just so happens to be the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. So I think if we can break 90, then we can go down to this level here, down at 83. I think that's totally possible. It's totally in the cards. I mean, if you look back here, there's just not much support from 90 to 83-ish. So and Beyond Meat is just, I don't know, in my opinion, it's not a very good company, but that's just my opinion. Nvidia, I've been waiting for this one to go over 300. Great company, great stock, but it's very volatile. It can move a lot. Nvidia over 290, I'd say, is a buy up to 300. Under 280, it can easily drop to 270. But I just like the bullish side of Nvidia better than the bearish, just because it's a great company. Unlike AMD, AMD is a company that I would, like to see. I'd like to be taking bearish trades on. I don't like them. They don't make a lot of money compared to like Nvidia, and they're just overvalued in my opinion, just like Beyond Meat. But regardless, some stocks the stock market just loves. Uh, so basically, for this week, I'm just watching to see what happens with Monday and Tuesday, to see how the market reacts to this very important trend channel and this resistance slash support at 212.35. I just want to see how the market reacts. Do we move higher Monday? Do we have vigor Mondays or volume coming in? I just would like to see how the market's going to react. I'm trying not to be bullish or bearish, but it's really hard not to be biased. All right, guys. Please leave a comment if you found this helpful at all. If you want me to go over any stocks, please feel free to leave a comment. And thanks for watching. Good luck.